Good morning, everyone. This is Tarun Namdev along with my colleagues Ankit Tiwari, Ali Ali Ansari, Sadhna Parmar, Shiaz Agrawal, Noor Mohammad Sir, and our group number is 1 are going to present our case study on Satyam scandal, function area, finance. As mentioned in our index, we will cover introduction, emerging of Satyam Computer Service, rise and history of Satyam Computers, the scam, confession by the Mr. Raju, violation of fiduciary duties, the auditor role and the factor contributing to the fraud, aftermath of Satyam scandal, investigation, crime, civil charges and the victims, operated governance issue at Satyam and the conclusion. Now, I would like to call Shyams to call with start with the introduction.
Ironically, in the ancient Indian language Sanskrit, Satyam means truth. The founders of Satyam were Mr. Ramalinga Raju and V. Ramaraju. It is set as an example of India's growing success. Since 1987, it has grown spectacularly. In the Indian IT service marketplace, Satyam captured a dominant position. It is also known to be India's Enron. Enron was a US company which was seventh largest in US and was dealing in energy. And now coming to emergence of Satyam Computer Services. The company was formed in 1987 in Hyderabad by Mr. Ramalinga Rai. The company offered IT and business process outsourcing, commonly known as BPO, services in various sectors. It has won various awards. In 2007, Mr. Raju was awarded with Entrepreneur of the Year. In 2008, Satyam won award for being the leader in India in CG and accountability. In 2007 and 9, Satyam won Golden Peacock Award for the best governed company. The firm began with a merely 20 employees, and in 2003, Satyam had 13,120 technical staff and over 300 customers based worldwide. At that time, worldwide IT service was estimated at $400 billion with a CGR of 6.4%. By 2008, company had grown to $2.1 billion. It showed a CGR of 35% over that period. The earning per share grew from $0.12 to $0.62 of a compound annual growth rate of 40%. Beginning in Jan 2003, at a share price of 138 INR, its stock price would peak up at 526 INR, a 300% improvement in 5 years. The operating profits averaged at 21%, but the real picture was completely different. Now I would like to call my friend Sadhna to take over.
Now I explain the history of computer. In Satyam was born in Hyderabad. It was a global IT services company. In 1991 2001, it was listed in BSE and NYSE. BSE stands for Bombay Stock Exchange for fourth fastest growing IT company in India. On 16 December 2008, the company decided to buy out Mehta's property and Mehta's Infra 100% stake for $1.6 billion. Both of the companies owned by Raju's sons. The deal falls through after investors and board members object, but Satyam shares fall 55% in trading on the New York Stock Exchange. In a surprise move, the World Bank announced on 23rd December 2008 that Satyam has been banned from doing business with World Bank for 8 years for providing improper benefit to bank staff in exchange for contract and providing a leak of documentation on invoices. December 2008 from World Bank. After Palam Srinivasan. Three more directors quit. On 2nd January 2009, promoters' stake fall from 8.64% to 5.13%. This fall was a result of lenders selling the shares pledged by Raju with them for non-payment of margin call on the shares. On 6th January 2009, within 3 days, the promoters' stake fell 3.6%. On January 7, 2009, Raju publicly confessed and resigned from his post, that he had been deleted the company's account number for years. January 8, 2008, Satyam CEO admitted that it was a on firm. On January 2009, 12 January 2000, Satyam holded a press conference for raising funds. Thank you so much. Now Alia will continue.
Good morning, everyone. And my part is Satyam scam. Raju, the founder and chairman, publicly confessed to financial statement fraud in a letter on Jan 7, 2009. Mr. Raju also claimed that he overstated assets on Satyam's balance sheet by 1.47 billions. He also underreported liabilities on its balance sheet. Here is one example that the result announced on October 17, 2009 overstated revenue by 75% and their profit reached by 97%. He also using number of different techniques to prepare the fraud. He also inflated the income statement by claiming interest income from bank accounts. He also revealed that he also created 600 fake salary accounts over the past few years. Next slide, please. Here is the letter, confession letter by him. Raju sent this letter to the board of Satyams and resigned from the company which he had promoted and was associated with for the last 20 years. He called it a burden on his conscience that the balance sheet had been fudged for years. Balance sheet carries as of September 30, 2008. He also made an understated liabilities of 1230 crore on accounts of funds arranged by him, inflated non-existent cash and bank balance of 5040 crore. Interest was occurred of rupees 375 crore for non-existence. September quarter, he was reported a revenue of rupees 2700 crore and their margin was only for 649 crore, and this was resulting to artificial cash and bank balance going up by rupees 588 crore. All the gaps in the balance sheet was arising purely on account of inflated profit from last few years and that was reflecting in the books of accounts. Every attempt made to eliminate the gap failed. As a promoter held small percent of equity, they were thinking who would be result over poor performance that can take over their gaps. Now Mythis accusation deals. This was the last attempt to fill fictitious assets with the real one. They have also decided that once Satyam problem was solved, their payment with Maitreya will be delayed. Here is some points given by him on this letter. In last 8 years, neither myself nor managing director has been sold any shares. In last 2 years, net amount of 123 crore was arranged to Satyam to keep the operation going on, to pledging all the promoters shares and rising fund. All the attempt was made to keep the wheel moving and to ensure promote payments of the salary to the associates, that neither me nor the managing director took even 1 rupee dollar from the company and have not been benefited in financial terms on account of the inflated result. None of the board members, past or present, had any knowledge of this situation in which company is placed. Even business leaders, senior executives such as Rama, Mayanpati, Subbu, DTR, Anand, Kesab Pandya, Vindra Agarwal, they were also unaware of this real situation was against the books of account. And the last one is liberty to recommend. In the last few days, a task force has been formed to address the situation arising out the failed Maithas accusation attempt. Then he suggested that Rama Manpati to made as a chairman of this task force to address some of the operational matter on hand. You may also have a restatement of accounts prepared by auditors for lighting the fact that has been placed before you. And in letter conclusion, Mr. Raju written that it was over 20 years now I have been promoted and associated with Satyam. It has been started from 53,000 people with 185 Fortune 500 companies as customers and operation in 66 countries. And he was confident that they will stand by the company in these hours of crisis. He also appealed to board to hold together to take some important steps. Mr. T.R. Prasad is well placed to mobilize support from the government at this crucial time. Under all the circumstances, I am offering my resignation as the chairman of Satyam and shall continue in this position only till such time the current board is expanded and he was prepared to subject himself to the laws of the land and fact the consequence thereof. Now I would like to call Ankit to continue.
Good morning. Now, violation of fiduciary duties. First, collapse of ethical standards. Mr. Raju has greed for money, power, consumption, success, and prestige, which led Mr. Raju to violation of all the duties imposed on them as fiduciary, the duty of care, the duty of negligence, the duty of loyalty, the duty of disclosure toward a stakeholder. The Satyam scandal is classic case of negligence of fiduciary duties, total collapse of ethical standards, and lack of corporate social responsibility. It is a human greed and desire that led to the fraud. Now, Satyam planned to acquire 51% stakes of Mehta's infrastructure for $300 million. Here's a stake of Raju is 37%, total turnover of the company is $350 million and total net profit is $20 million. Raju has also had a stake in Mehta's property of 35% share. Now, after this shareholder approval not taken for the deal with Mehta's infrastructure, then its independent director had approved the proposal to buy stake in Mehta's infrastructure and all the Mehta's property. After this, investors sold their shares after 12 hours of the decision of acquisition, and then the deal was reversed because investors sold a stake of Satyam and also threatened management to take action against him. Then lawsuits filed in US, followed by US contesting Mehta's deal and World Bank Satyam for conducting business for 8 years due to inappropriate payments to his staff and inability to provide information sought in voices. 4 independent directors quit the Satyam board and SEBI ordered promoter to disclosure pledge share to stock exchange. Then Merrill Lynch appointed by Satyam to look for a partner or a buyer of the company. But after he found financial irregularities in the company, he terminated its engagement with the company. Last attempt to fill the gap, Raju tried every possible attempt to fill the gap, but the last try was to convert fictitious assets into the real ones by Mehta's acquisition deal, but he also failed in it. Now, fabricated balance sheet income statement of Satyam. As you can see, the real cash and bank balance of Satyam's is 321 crore, but he reported 5,361 crore and total difference is 5,040 crores. Accrued interest on bank FD, which is non-existent, but he reported in files that there's 376 crore accrued interest which was coming. Now, understated liability he shows nil, but the actual liability is 1230 crore, because he wants to be a company which is debt free. Overstated debtors is of actual is 2161 crore, but he reported 2651 crore. The difference is 490 crore. And revenue quarter fiscal year 2009 actual is 2112 crore, reported is 2700 crores. The difference is 588 crore. Operating profit is 61 crore actual, but he reported 649 crore, with 300% more. Now, promoters share downfall. Promoters, as part of tunneling strategy, the Satyam promoters has sustainably reduced their holding in company from 25.6% in March 2001 to 8.74 in March 2008. Furthermore, as a promoter held a very small percentage of 2.18 on December 2008, as shown in the graph. Now, my friend Noor will continue.
Okay, thank you, Ankit. So, my part is the auditor role and factor contributing to frauds. First, audit. PricewaterhouseCoopers (PwC) is a world auditing firm who audited Satyam's book from June 2000 until the discovery of the fraud till 2009. Several commentators criticized PwC harshly for failing to detect the frauds. Indeed, PwC still signed Satyam's financial statement and was responsible for the numbers under the Indian law. One particularly troubling item concerned was that amount $1.04 billion that Satyam claimed to have on its balance sheet in non-interest bearing deposits. As per accounting professionals, anybody responsible company would have either invested the money into an interest bearing account or returned the excess cash to the shareholders. Now, second, about frauds. The Satyam's fraud went on for a number of years and involved both the manipulation of balance sheet and income statements. Whenever Satyam indeed needed more income amount to meet analyst estimates, it simply creates fusion of sources, and it did so numerous times without the auditors ever discovering the frauds. Suspiciously, Satyam also paid PwC twice the amount of other firms would charge for the audit, which raised question against PwC that whether they are also engaged in that fraud or not. Whereas PwC audited the company for nearly 9 years and did not overcome the fraud, whereas Merrill Lynch discovered the fraud within 10 days. Now, next point, contributors. Numerous factors contributed to the Satyam's fraud. The independent board member of Satyam, the Institutional Investor Committee, the SEBI, retail investor, and the external auditor. None of them, including professional investors with detailed information and model available to them, detected illegal. Factors that contributed to fraud were greed and ambitious corporate wealth, lack of transparency, excessive interest in maintaining stock prices, stock market expectations, nature of accounting rules. Now, Ankit, please change the slide. Okay. Aftermath of Satyam scandal. The degradation in shares. Degradation in shares. When the news of the fraud came out, Merrill Lynch, the American Investing Wealth Management Bank of America, terminated its engagement with Satyam. Credit Suisse suspended its coverage of Satyam, and the PwC came under intense security, and its license to operate was revoked. The awards, the Peacock Awards, was won by the Satyam, and its executive management were stripped from the company. And Satyam's share fell to 11.50 rupees on January 10th, 2009. Their lowest level since March 1998 company to a high of 544 rupees in 2008. In the New York Stock Exchange, Satyam shares peaked $29.10 US in 2008. By March 2009, they were trading around $1.80 per share. Thus, investor lost made was $2.82 billion in Satyam. Satyam significantly inflated the earning assets of the year, rolling down Indian stock market as throwing the industries to uncertainties. So now, can you change the slide? Accounting scandals. Accounting scandals. As after Raju's revelation about the accounting fraud, new board members were appointed, and they started working towards solution that how would they prevent the total collapse of the firm. Indian official act quickly tried to save Satyam from the same fate that met Enron. The Indian government immediately started an investigation, while at the same time limiting its direct participation with the Satyam, because it did not want to appear like it was their responsibility for the fraud, or attempting to cover up the fraud. The government appointed a new board of directors for Satyam to try to save the company's board. Goal was to sell the company within 100 days. The division of the sale board met with bankers, accountants, and lawyer and government officers. So now, auction and stabilization. By the mid of March, several major players were from the IT field had gained enough confidence in Satyam's operation to participate in an auction process for Satyam. The Security and Exchange Board of India appointed the retired Supreme Court Justice, Mr. Bharucha, to oversee the process and instill confidence in the transaction. Several companies bid on Satyam on the date of 13th April 2009. The winning bidder was the Tech Mahindra. They bought the Satyam for $1.13 per share. $1.13 per share. less than the one-third of the stock market value before Mr. Raju revealed the fraud. Both Tech Mahindra and SEBI are now fully aware of the full extent of the fraud, and India will now pursue further investigations. The stock has now stabilized for the fall in November 2009, and as per the Tech Mahindra, Satyam is one and only way toward the bright future. Thank you, and over to Tarun. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir. My topic is investigation, criminal, civil charges, and victims. The investigation of the fraud has led to charges against several different groups of people involved with the Satyam. Indian authorities arrested Mr. Raju and the Mr. Raju brothers B. Ramaraju, its former managing director, Srinivas Vadlamani, the company head of internal audit, and its CFO on the criminal charges of fraud. The Institute of Chartered Accountant in India ruled the CFO and the auditor were guilty to professional misconduct. There were several civil charges filed in the US against Satyam by holder of its ADR. The investigations also implicated several Indian politicians. Both the civil and the criminal litigations cases continue in India, and civil litigations continue in the United States. Now the next slide. Now some of the main victims are employees, clients, shareholders, bankers, and the Indian government. First, we will talk about the employees. Employees of Satyams, they faced a non-payment of salaries, project cancellations, layoffs, and etc. They were extended in many ways, like morally, socially, legally, and financially. Now the second one is clients. Clients of Satyam expressed a loss of trust and reviewed their contact, preferring to go with the competitors. There are the several global competitors like Cisco, World Bank, and Tesla. Now the third one is shareholder. Shareholder lost valuable investment, and there were a doubt about a review of in India. The development had resulted in calculable and unjustifiable damage to brand India and brand IT in particular. Now the bankers. Bankers were concerned about a recovery and the financial and non-financial exposure, and recalled the facilities which are provided to the Satyam. Now the last one, Indian government. Indian government was worried about its image of nation and IT sector affecting faith and the trust. Now the next topic is corporate governance issue at the Satyam. On a quarterly basis, Satyam earnings increased day by day. In the process, Satyam groceries violated all the rule and corporate governance. It had failed to show a relation with the shareholders and the employees. The corporate issues at the Satyam across between non-fulfillment of obligation of company towards a various stakeholders of specific interest are following a distribution the role of board of management, separation of the role and the CEO and the chairman, appointment to the board and the director executives competition. In fact, the shareholders never had the opportunity to give their consent to the announcement of the Mehta's deal, and falsified document with the grocery inflected financial reports with the delivered to them. Ultimately, the shareholders were at the loss and felt cheated. Surely, the questions about the management credibly were raised in the additional to non-payment of the advance taxes to the government. The Satyam services scandal brought to light an important the ethics and relevance to corporate culture. The fraud committed by the founder of Satyam is a testament to the fact that the science of conduct is set in a large by the human greed, ambition, and the hunger of power, money, and the fame. Thank you. And the next topic next will be explained by the Ankit.
Now, conclusion. I think the Satyam scandal can be avoided, as per my opinion, if the auditing firm PwC was honest. Like in last 9 years, PwC audited Satyam, and he did not found any fraud in its statement. If PwC worked according to the accounting standards, this type of scandal can be avoided. If internal persons are active and honest, like manager director Srinivasam was also guilty. If corporate governance was strong enough, then this type of scandal can not happen. It was corporate governance was failed to show good relation between shareholders and employees. If SEBI plays an active role, then these if this happens, the Satyam scandal can be avoided. Thank you.